Hey, Kevin Richardson here. If you're watching this exclusive presentation, then you're either one of my elite subscribers or I have allowed a very close friend of mine to share this website with you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a simple but powerful technique that's going to help you get natural, clear vision. You definitely want to turn up the volume if you're interested in saying goodbye to ever wearing glasses again, eliminating the need to pay expensive fees for contact lenses, never fearing going blind as you age, never being afraid of having to undertake corrective eye surgery like LASIK. Now, before we go any further, let me remind you that this is an exclusive, by invitation only presentation. You won't find this presentation anywhere else. If you're suffering from eye strain, dyslexia, cataract, glaucoma, poor night vision, astigmatism, nearsightedness, farsightedness, old age sight, macular degeneration, lazy eye, light sensitivity, bottom line is, if you've got anything less than perfect 20/20 vision, then listen up. This is easily the most important thing you'll ever see in your life, because you're about to discover a secret that's going to get you crystal clear vision through very simple and natural ways. Heck, even my own personal doctor of 30 years found it hard to believe at first. But I can assure you that what you're about to hear is very real. Before I go on to tell you about this amazing discovery, let me share with you how I came about this secret. When I was very young, my parents thought I had a learning disability because try as they might, they couldn't get me to learn the alphabet. It wasn't until a routine medical checkup that the doctor diagnosed me as having severe myopia, which is basically a fancy word for short-sightedness, which of course explained why I couldn't learn, because I couldn't see. By the age of 5, I was made to wear glasses, and I can't begin to tell you how much that affected me as a kid. You know how it is. Being called Four Eyes was the least of my problems. I remember going to the optometrist when I was 15 for a new pair of glasses, and for some reason I told him that I'd hoped to be rid of them soon. I also remember the exact words he told me. He said, "Son, you're probably going to have to wear these for the rest of your life." I was devastated, and that's not the worst of it. By the time I turned 21, I was near legally blind. Have you ever seen those classic Coca-Cola glass bottles? You know the bottom of those bottles? Those were how thick my prescription lenses were. I am not kidding. I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but in my years-long research into corrective eye procedures, I would eventually discover that corrective lenses actually do more harm than good in the long run. Try it for yourself. If you wear glasses or contacts, do some close work for an hour or two, then check your unaided vision. You'll find that you'll see only half of what you did before. When you think about it, it makes sense that corrective lenses will eventually ruin one's vision. The eye is just like any organ or muscle. It can be trained. It can be strengthened. Using corrective lenses doesn't aid in strengthening of the eye. They're a crutch that the eye becomes dependent on over time. They make the eye lethargic, complacent, because it no longer has to engage in the hard work of focusing on producing the clearest image for your brain. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking, okay, so why didn't you just go for one of those corrective eye surgeries? Here's why. Back in the day, corrective eye surgery cost an arm and a leg. Heck, it still does today. And just like today's procedures, there was no guarantee that I wouldn't ever need my glasses again. Then, of course, there were the horror stories. Every now and then there would be news of some botched eye surgery, leaving some poor guy or woman with even more eye problems than they started with. Problems like halos, eye infections, or worse, permanent blindness. Heck, even with today's advanced technology, you still hear about doctors screwing up and leaving people blind. Take the comedian Kathy Griffin, for instance. As she told Time magazine, the guy who did my LASIK surgery wanted to do a tune-up, and now I've had 5 surgeries on my eye. I have partial blindness in one of my eyes, actually. Actually, let's hear it from Miss Griffin herself.
This is 6 days after my surgery. I have 17 stitches in my eyeball, my right eye. It was a 90-minute procedure that I got under what's called IV sedation, as opposed to what my former doctor, Dr. Robert Maloney, said would be a 10-minute painless procedure. It wasn't 10 minutes, it was 90 minutes. And I'm going to go and see when I can get the stitches out next. It's been really, really, really painful. My vision is still really blurry, obviously, in my right eye. And it's not any fun. And people should know that this could happen if you get LASIK and it goes bad.
And sad thing is, it can happen to anyone, not just celebrities. You've heard about the malpractice suits and the dangers of corrective eye surgeries like LASIK. But in case you haven't, here's Patrick Sheehan's story. After being told in a consultation that he was a perfect candidate for LASIK surgery, he went for the procedure at the age of 23. The doctors told him he could make do without glasses. But after the surgery, he discovered that his left eye began to deteriorate. He suffered from dizzy spells and migraine headaches on a daily basis. When he went to his optometrist to get a pair of glasses, He was told that his left cornea had been severely damaged.